Well, Michelle, Steve, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci, you can expect to see more of what we're dealing with right now. And because so many people have been traveling across the country for the Thanksgiving holiday, he expects that we won't be slowing down in case counts anytime soon.
We don't want to frighten people, but that's just the reality.
But it can be a harsh reality to accept for many folks eagerly looking forward to Christmas now that November has come to an end. When looking at case counts in our state and across the country, it shows that Fauci's prediction of what's to come for the rest of this holiday season that he mentioned on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos is likely.
We likely will have an increase in cases as we get into the colder weeks of the winter and as we approach the Christmas season.
He says it's concerning to see so many people traveling after repeated requests for folks to stay home. For him, this is now crunch time.
We have to be careful now because there almost certainly is going to be an uptick because of what has happened with the travel.
Even with a delay in accurate numbers because of Thanksgiving, places like Pierce County reported record case numbers yesterday and expect more to be added this upcoming week. They say because more people are getting tested down there, it's caused more delays in reporting accurate numbers. But the influx of cases and hospitalizations isn't deterring Fauci's optimism.
Help is on the way. Vaccines are really right on the horizon.
And the incoming Biden administration will be assisting in this effort now with the help of Jane Hopkins, a local nurse here in Washington that was appointed to President-elect Biden's Transition COVID-19 Advisory Board. In the meantime, for Fauci, this dark winter will keep waiting on that light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't see a relaxation of the kind of recommendations and restrictions that we've made.
That's the ballpark guess, yes, Steve, but we won't have the actual numbers for a while. But it is safe to say that this has been one of the busiest stretch of days that SeaTac has seen since this pandemic started. As Nick mentioned, the CDC urging people not to fly, saying it is just too risky. But those we spoke with here insist that they have done everything they can to keep themselves safe. Taking off in record numbers, airline travel on the tail end of this Thanksgiving holiday will likely be one of the busiest we have seen in 2020.
Welcome to Fly Healthy at SEA.
And at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, TSA officials estimate that up to 24,000 flyers departed from its gates on the holiday itself, many now returning home. Brianna Gutierrez is coming back from Phoenix.
It was very crowded.
She says a medical emergency in her family prompted that trip.
You have to kind of weigh those odds, right, and decide what you're going to do, what you're comfortable with.
Some health experts now urging anyone who did travel to assume they've picked up COVID-19 and to get a test.
I don't plan on testing unless I have symptoms. However, I am going to be in isolation for 14 days.
Others have packed their bags, leaving Washington State.
I came to see my husband. He's stationed in Whidbey Island, and I'm from California. I just have to be careful, just like my mother-in-law reminded me.
Overall, there are far fewer passengers flying out of SeaTac. Take October, for example, a drop in travel of nearly 61% compared to last year. This year as a whole, just 17 million people have come through the airport, a number officials say they would have seen by mid-May any other year. And out on the roads, AAA forecasting 48 million Americans drove for Thanksgiving, a number down just 4% from 2019.
Hey, Tammy, the superlatives that the King County prosecutor and the presiding judge are using in this are not good. Yet King County is doing more than most counties in the country at chipping away at the backlog.
Quick sound check. Raise your hand if you can hear me. Excellent.
Courtroom East 942 is huge.
Then we will do follow-up and move forward with the trial.
But you can't tell there's a full jury trial going on with a full slate of jurors via Zoom.
The jurors are at home, the parties are at home, the witnesses are at home. The only people in the courtroom are myself, my clerk, my bailiff, and the court reporter.
In fact,
our court here in Seattle, King County, has done more in-person jury trials and bench trials than any court in the United States of America.
That's 70 jury and 150 non-jury trials. But that's nothing compared to the backlog of cases.
We have over 200 murder cases that we have to get to trial. We'll have a backlog by the end of the month of about 7,000 felony cases, and typically we carry about a 3,000 case backlog.
It hasn't helped that criminal cases in King County are up 45% from last year.
It's a gigantic backlog, and that is where we feel the pain the most. It's a significant problem.
Add in that the county, like many courts in the state, has suspended in-person jury trials at least until January because of the recent COVID surge, adding to the backlog.
After COVID, it's going to take us years to get through some of these cases.
And there's pressure to keep the King County jail population low to provide proper social distancing. It's all a recipe for very long waits for everyone.
I'm sure that there are defendants who are frustrated.
Because of COVID, the state Supreme Court has suspended a defendant's right to a speedy trial. This virtual case Judge Rogers is hearing is civil. He says virtual criminal trials are proving to be challenging, but it may have to happen as defendants wait in jail and the case queue gets longer.
We may end up becoming, at some point, mostly all criminal court, where everyone's trying criminal cases to get rid of the backlog. And we're prepared for that.
We just learned a short time ago the Biden-Harris transition announced a nurse with a specialty in mental health is one of 3 new advisory board members that have been named. She is Jane Hopkins. This is video of her from last year. She worked as a nurse for more than 20 years, including time at Harborview Medical Center and Snoqualmie Hospital, and later elected to executive VP with the SEIU Healthcare Union. She serves right now on our own state's COVID task force.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.